This is Pastor Troy Benetone, and you have found us at On the Dock with Pastor Troy. We're just so glad you're joining us today. This is a introductory podcast to our incredible new show we've put together for you. God is so good, and I hope you enjoyed that opening music. Custom built. You kind of feel that familiar tone underneath. You know, that tone is a song that's important to me. It's a song by Otis Redding called Sitting on the Dock of the Bay. Today we're going to give you a little bit of introduction to On the Dock with Pastor Troy. We're going to have, you see this beautiful table, this cottonwood table that we have here made by Ben Ottolini. He's personally done that. You'll see that table's huge. We've got 3 other mic spots. We'll be having other guests in and out of here. We've got other co-hosts that you'll be seeing besides me. But I just want to tell you a little bit about the heart of On the Dock. On the Dock, as I said, Otis Redding, you heard a little bit of the tones of that song. Our team that did that, Dustin and Lucas and Ben, our team went in and I gave them an assignment. I said, I want Sitting on the Dock of the Bay, but I want the Memphis Dirty Blues version. And I tell you what, they went and got it. And so the heart of this program fits with Otis Redding. Otis Redding wrote that song January 1968. It was published. He had died in December. It was published right after his death. It was the last song he wrote. And if you remember the old whistle verse, that whistle verse is the whistle verse because he went to go do a concert and died in Wisconsin in a plane crash. Never got back to record that verse. And my dream and my hope someday is to stand before the Lord Jesus Christ and be able to say, hey, could Otis play that second verse for me? I've been waiting on the dock of the bay for it. So, hey, On the Dock is all about us getting into conversation to propel your faith. That's really what we've said our mission is going to be. We've had a team working on this since early January, and we have one mission: to propel your faith with strength forward and with excellence. And so here's what we're going to do. We have set that up, and I'm just going to show you that. We're going to show you this incredible, it's about conversations to propel your faith. So just remember, On the Dock, conversations to propel your faith. And our credo, here's our credo. Our credo is out of the shallows and into the deep. We want you to come in and just get your podcast on, get your YouTube on, get your Facebook on. Just sit down and listen with us. And we're going to bring in some good friends, good experts. Hey, listen. On the Dock is not a place where we're going to be arguing and fighting with people. That's not the purpose of this podcast. The purpose of this podcast is to enrich your faith and propel you out into the deep. We're going to encourage you, excite you. We're going to bring in people that will coach you. They'll be mentors. We're going to bring highlighters from the community, from the region and beyond, people that you'll want to mentor after, be coached after, people that will inspire you. So we're not here to debate and argue. That's not this kind of show. There's a lot of good shows like that on the web. Get out there and look for them. But what we're here about is to jazz you up, juice you up, and get you out of the shallows again and into the deep. That's what we're all about. Now, the heart of my heart, you guys, anybody knows me well, knows that 1 Peter 3:15 is my scripture. But in your hearts, revere, set apart, revere, sanctify, that big word there, Christ is Lord. Always be prepared to give an answer to everyone who asks you, to give the reason for the hope that you have, but do this with gentleness and respect. Keeping a clear conscience. Verse 16, so important. Keep a clear conscience so that those who speak maliciously against you and against your good behavior in Christ may be ashamed of their standard. I want to explain to you, we want to be a tool here at On the Dock to help you be prepared to give that answer. When people see you and they see you living out your faith, we want them to see that and go, hey, how do you do that? How do you walk like that? So we want to put people in front of you, programs in front of you, coaches, Christians in front of you that will inspire and propel that faith forward. Now, let me go back and say something about On the Dock here. Let me go back to my graphic here. This graphic here that inspires me, of course, Otis Redding's songs kind of at the heart of it, but my daughter Megan, she's a great artist. Her and Haley Ottolini. Haley did the graphics, the On the Dock graphic. Megan did the artwork. This picture I shared with Megan, my heart is to sit down with good people, godly people, people that will inspire you, leaders, to sit down on the dock and let's look out into the deep and talk about how to get people out there. And these people can share their experiences. They can share how they've been out there. And, look, we're just, the dock is the harbor. It's a safe place. That's why we're not going to have political debate. We're not here to argue. We're here to enrich. And that lighthouse reminds us that when we get out there, Christ will help us find a way home. And we're going to help people do that. So On the Dock's going to be a great place to be. That image is just, let's sit there, let's enjoy the sunrise, let's enjoy the safety of the harbor. But then when we're done, let's get out into the deep. I'm excited about that. Now, let me tell you about our team. Our team is amazing. We have an amazing team. Our team is going to be made up, our On the Dock team is a great team. We've been working for months now. My co-host, I got a couple co-hosts you're going to see regularly. This is a miracle that you're going to see this. You're going to see it on our opening podcast, episode 2. You're going to see Mother Beth Benetone step in the podcast seat. Mother Beth has gotten mouthy in church recently. On Wednesday night, she's been talking. She got up and talked on another night, and she's leading and working with the education group. And so we just threw her in the seat, said, hey, if you're going to talk a lot, you're going to have to be on the host. You're going to be one of the hosts. So Mother Beth will step in as our co-host. You're going to see her a lot when I have a co-ed table, when we're dealing with pastors and pastors' wives. And anytime we need Mother Beth in here, she's going to be ready to get in and be a part of the On the Dock team. So look for Mother Beth regularly, and you're going to enjoy her. Another one you're going to see real regularly is my primary co-host is going to be Ben Ottolini. Ben is frankly the construction guy on this entire set. Lucas has done the lighting and cameras and stuff, but Ben did the table, and you'll see our other set down the road. We have a whole second set that's just beautiful, and it's designed for a little more intimate setting. And Ben is an incredible gift. He's a worship leader here at Community Faith Church where I pastor. He's phenomenally gifted at getting people before the Lord. And I tell you what, he's got a real heart for people. And so he's just going to be stepping in with me many times and just be the other voice in there and help us just to co-host. And there'll be times when he'll be taking the lead mic and maybe interviewing worship pastors and other people that fit in that genre. So look forward to seeing Ben Ottolini in the seat as well. And you're going to see occasionally, you'll see more behind the scenes, but you'll hear me shout out her a lot. Maybe I'll be panicked in here and need some help. You're going to hear me call out and say, where's Donna? Donna Kanuski is our executive producer. You'll see her eventually and in and out. And you're going to see maybe a little bit Lucas over here. Lucas Winkler is our executive director, and he's behind the scenes right now. So all the camera work, all the changes you see, he's doing right now. So you'll see him on camera as well. And we want to put a big shout out to our graphics designer, Haley Ottolini, for doing all the graphics work along with Megan Benetone. Now, let me just tell you a little bit about what's coming up on the dock. We want to tell you that we're going to be doing several key things, and we have built a lot of work into this. So coming up in the next few podcasts, and our goal is to run the podcast on a Tuesday and Thursday release. So you'll be seeing our podcast come out on Tuesdays and Thursdays generally, and we'll try to keep those rolling as well as the Lord inspires us. So what's coming up on the dock? We're going to be laying out at the beginning our foundation of truth. What inspired this is back in January, the Lord really put on my heart that, man, we need to get back into core truth. Truth is, we're just destabilized in our nation, destabilized in the church, destabilized in the world on what truth is. And we're trying to live like there's all kinds of varieties of truth. And we all know that's not true in the Word of God. That's not true in the reality of eternity. And so we're going to just take some time and lay out a foundation of truth. And so you're going to see our on the dock team coming in together, and we're going to all be taking on the foundation of truth. I hope you'll enjoy that. Those episodes will be coming up real shortly. Then we're going to be moving on to my first guest, my first out-of-studio guest. I'm going to be bringing in, this is vanity, I know it is, but that's what you do when you do stuff and you've been a leader for a while. I got to go back and say, I didn't get here by myself. So I'm going to bring in my spiritual father in the Lord and couple of my key mentors, and I just want you to know you'll see them real soon, and they're going to come in and talk to you about what leadership principles are needed to push yourself out into that deep. And you're going to love hearing from my spiritual father, Fred Bishop, and along with a couple other mentors. I'll surprise you with those later, and we're going to get deep into what it means to build your foundation so that you can get out and get it done. We want to get it done, church. Now, listen, number 3, we're going to up and coming will be pastoring in 2020 and beyond. I know we're in 2021, but something in 2020, COVID, made a major change in the church. And I'm going to be bringing you in many different episodes some of the top pastoral leaders in our entire region. I'm talking about the largest churches in Southern Illinois, also some of the most moving churches. They may not be the biggest, but they got some of the hottest ministries. I will be bringing those pastors, and with Mother Beth in the studio, we'll be bringing in the pastors' wives as well, because when you get the pastors' wives in, they'll tell you the truth. You know, they'll cut through all the stuff. But we're going to be learning about what it means to pastor in 2020 and beyond, so you can be more of an asset to your team, and you can help be a leader in that coming up. We're going to go on then and be taking a look at also subjects like spiritual needs and issues in the post-COVID church. COVID changed the church. There are some things that are kind of returning to normal, but most things are accelerated and a different normal. You see this podcast. This is a post-COVID result. This is how we're reaching people. During COVID, our church did online broadcasting. We brought many of those people into the church, but some of those people are too far to get here. So a podcast like this will give them tools, other people tools, and we're finding that the Church of Jesus Christ can grow. We believe the podcast will be like a tangent, bringing people by and let them experience the pleasure of God. Whether they attend another church and we're excited about our other friends and brothers and sisters, we want to enrich their faith, or whether there's somebody looking for a church home, we want to be an asset. So we're going to be looking at spiritual needs and issues of the post-COVID church. We're also going to be looking at leading area Christian business owners. I will be bringing in top business merchants from our region to talk to you about what they do, why they do it, and how they do it. You can see on my table today, we got Crown Brew. Crown Brew is going to be one of our lead opening sponsors for On the Dock. We appreciate them. Josh Benetone, my son, Jared Gravitt are the owners there. They are a phenomenal Christian business that is driving faith in Marion like you wouldn't believe it, and they've got other partners they're doing it with, and you're going to hear from a bunch of them from around the region. We'll get them here at the table. We're going to talk about how to be a Christian and a business owner and how to excel at both of those things, and I think you're going to love that. Well, I want you to get out and do some business with them. So if you'll go into Crown Brew, go ahead and tell them you saw us at On the Dock. Get in there and have a good Crown Brew. Now, we're also going to talk about the sixth area is area municipal and government leaders. I'll be bringing in to you mayors, town leaders. We are fortunate with some solid Christian town leaders in this region. We've got solid Christian governmental leaders. We're going to bring them in here and talk to them about how God is moving, how we can move with them, how the church and you can be an asset, and how we can see our area grow for Jesus Christ through that work. We're going to partner with them. I believe the church doesn't have to be fighting the city and the government. I believe we can be enriching it. We can be pushing it out into the deep as well. Finally, we're going to be taking a in-depth look at a lot of regional ministries. So we'll be taking a look at things like Marion Medical Ministry, The Promise Dave Morani has over in Marion. We're going to be looking at Hands of Hope Foundation that we run, and many other ministries like that, like Bald Knob Cross. We're going to be bringing some of those great leaders in, talking about key ministries and how you can be mentored by them, encouraged, strengthened by them, and so forth. So we'll be having some exciting shows coming up. This doesn't even touch what we're going to do and much more. We have actually already planned 60 shows, and you can see that all the shows are at least 1 to 4 parts. So we're talking about a good year and a half of work here. We've been working hard for you, and Donna will be getting these things set up and booked, and we're just ready to go here on the dock. So we got a lot of material for you. Those are upcoming shows. Look out for those coming up. Now let's talk about our partners. How do you find us? Well, you found us if you're watching this, but everybody knows how to find us basically. We're going to be just blitzing a lot of stuff, and we may add some in the future, but our featured main way to find us video-wise is through our YouTube channel at On the Dock with Pastor Troy. So get on that, On the Dock with Pastor Troy. Get subscribed, get notified. That way, every time we go up, you get the stuff. Also on iTunes. We'll be on iTunes for the podcast. You won't get the video, won't get my pretty mug, but you will get the message, and that's what's important. So you can go to iTunes and Spotify. So those are going to be our 3 primary ways, but we are not leaving you hanging. We've got other ways. We're going to be available through Google Podcast, of course, On the Dock Facebook page, Roku. We're on Roku. If you have a Roku TV, what you have to do is download the SermonNet app and do a search for On the Dock with Pastor Troy. You'll find us. And then also we're on Rumble. Check out Rumble. Rumble's a great upstart doing good work, so we'll be on Rumble as well. And so find us, and as well also on SermonNet. SermonNet is a great app you can download to your phone, to your computer, and it's a great place you'll find us. You'll find us archived on SermonNet. You'll find us archived on YouTube, and you'll find us on iTunes and Spotify as well. Now, let me talk about the social media sites. We will be posting out. Donna will be leading the effort of communicating with you, and we'll be using primarily Facebook, Instagram, Telegram, and Twitter. So check those out. We have pages at all those places: Facebook, Instagram, Telegram, and Twitter, and you can comment on episodes. That's where you want to comment. We'll see your comments, and we'll do some special shows where we just deal with your comments and what you've had to say. So keep those nice. Remember, this is a positive show. We're not trying to get it theologically controversial or anything here, or politically. We're just trying to get in here and make our community a better place. Now, let me wrap up with these things. How do you become a partner of On the Dock? Well, we've got a special relationship now with Patreon. We want you to go to Patreon. We'll have links on our website. We'll tell you how to get to our website in just a second. You can go to Patreon through any of our links, through our social media sites, and you can learn how to become an On the Dock partner right away and get involved with the work we're doing here. We're going to have partner level stuff, and we are going to have sponsor level stuff and other special Patreon specials. Check those out, and you might even sign up for a partnership and get one of our new On the Dock coffee cups mugs. They're coming very soon. You'll see those in one of our first episodes. So check those out. Become On the Dock partner at Patreon. We want to have you there. And if you want to sponsor an episode or become one of our people we mentioned, you have ways to do that through On the Dock at Patreon. Finally, let me tell you how to get a hold of us. You can get a hold of us through our website at onthedock.org, www.onthedock.org, and you can email us. You can email us and we will see it. If you want to find out how to do something, get more involved, you can email info@onthedock.org. Info@onthedock.org is how to get a hold of us. And let me wrap up with this. The vision and heart of On the Dock is to get you out of the shallows and into the deep, right? So we want to make sure that you are engaged, not just with our podcast, but you're engaged in the faith community. And we know that probably if you're listening to this podcast, you're probably connected to some faith community because they mentioned it to you or they shared it with you. If you have a church home, we want to enrich your church home. We want to encourage you. Hey, if you've got a great ministry going on in that church, your pastor's doing extraordinary work, email us at that info@onthedock.org. Email us and we'll get them booked. We'll bring them in, let them talk about that great ministry, let them talk about that great model. And we've got a lot of pastors coming in, but we would love to learn some from you. So share that. But if you have a good church home, we are excited for you. We just want to enrich you and encourage you. And this is our gift to you. If you do not have someplace to go on Sunday or on Wednesdays, we would love to invite you to come to our host church, which is the Community Faith Church in Marion, Illinois. You can check us out. Details are on the screen right now. We're at 5208 Meadowland Parkway. And you can check out COF at www.coftv.com. And you could join us at 10 o'clock on Sundays or 6:30 on Wednesday nights. We would love to have you live at the campus. We're good and going. We also have a full virtual campus, and you can watch us at coftv.com. We also view the church on Facebook, YouTube, and we also on SermonNet and Roku as well. So we hope you'll enjoy that. We're looking forward to some great episodes of On the Dock. And again, I'm Pastor Troy, and we're looking forward to you joining us on the Dock.